Good morning, everyone. This morning I got up and got out of bed, had a quick shower, and then I got changed. I tidied up my room and kind of just, put everything away and made my bed, get ready for the day. I then did my general skincare routine, and then I did a light makeup today, as today is a special day for us. I am wearing the exact same outfit as I wore to my mum's wake. Then I jumped straight into school, had some breakfast, and doing some work before had a quick graze break for more classes. It's a never-ending school. Did some maths with a friend. Did some social media content as well, raising awareness. I had a friend come over, and so we just watched a movie before getting dinner prepared. Dinner was really yummy tonight. Nice roast is always good. I forgot to film for the rest of the night, so did watch some Greys, but nothing much else happened. Hey everyone. Well, what a day. Yeah. I just don't even know where to begin. Today is my mum's second death anniversary, I guess you could call it. It's been 2 years since she passed away to stage 4 cancer, and it is so hard, extremely hard to comprehend, to think about. Even though it's been 2 years since I've lived without her, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it and try and understand and comprehend sort of what's happening, why it's happening, and a lot of the questions I have, nobody can answer, or are too scared to answer. And I guess that's okay. Everyone has a lot of questions about life that we're not always going to be able to answer, but it is extremely hard. I'm only 17, the only female in the house. I basically take care of the household, and I assist Dad lots with cooking, cleaning, washing, shopping. I plan the weekly meals, write out the shopping list of just about everything we need, keep track of medical appointments, keep track of Jay, trying to do school full time. It's a lot to wrap my head around, and to think that I've gone 2 years without Mum is just I didn't think I had it in me to be able to cope and to be able to get as far as I've come. So around this time last year, I was publishing and writing my first lot of articles for Motherless Daughters Australia, setting up their first fundraising campaign, which raised quite a bit of money for MDA. For those who are new to my channel, Motherless Daughters Australia assists women and young girls, teenagers, through the mother loss. There isn't any other foundation here in Australia that supports that. There's other sort of generalised ones like cancer and what other not support groups, but this one brings all the motherless daughters together. I think I'm pretty much one of the youngest part of the support group online, and there's such such a community. I felt so welcomed. I feel so much support from them. Support I can't get anywhere else, because nobody else understands the pain that I'm going through. Grief, it's so unpredictable. You have ups and downs. I've had so many questions asked about how do you cope with grief, what are some coping strategies, I use, what is grief like. Grief, it's different for everyone. Everyone copes differently. How I cope and how grief presents in me is much different to how it presents in my dad or in my brother. Boys do tend to sort of shut down and not talk about it and kind of get on with life, and that's sort of what Jay and Dad have been doing, whereas me, I'm more a talkative person. I like to talk out my feelings to friends, to family. I have professional help. I see a psychologist. I see a social worker. I've got a whole medical team of doctors working with me as well to manage my symptoms as best as possible, because we do know the worse my mental health gets, the worse my physical condition gets. So, and grief, no, it's not a mental health condition, but it does affect the mental health conditions. It does affect my anxiety, my depression, my PTSD. What I've been through is counted as trauma. Losing mum so young is trauma. It's a traumatic experience, and then the aftermath of that is even more traumatic. Coping wise, that's sort of how I cope. I talk. I also do sometimes shut down, and the only times I tend to cry is in my bed alone when everyone else is asleep. I sometimes cry at school to my friends if I feel safe enough. Most of the time I don't. But I tend to find nice things to do for yourself when I guess this is any coping strategy for when you're feeling stressed or anxious, depressed. Find something that you enjoy that can take your mind off it. For me, it's going and watching Grey's Anatomy. So much drama on that. Medical stuff. Yes, there's some triggers in there that do trigger me and I have to take a step back, but most of the time I can get through it, and that's how I cope. I watch that. I basically throw myself into that, and sometimes think that's the life I'm living. I'm part of the show. I colour. I go for a walk. Sit outside for a bit. Sometimes I throw myself into doing chores around the house. So I'll clean. I'll fold the washing while watching Grey's Anatomy or another TV show. It's not one sort of thing that can be sort of handed out to everyone. It's very complex, and there isn't enough awareness about it. We aren't taught about it much, and that's sort of the sad thing. At some point in our lives we are going to go through this. We are going to lose someone close to us, whether or not that's our grandparents, our parents, siblings, your best friend, another sort of family member you're close with, like an aunt or a cousin. And, yes, losing a mum or a parent is very different as to losing your grandparent or an aunt or a cousin. It's still sad, but when it directly affects you, that's the hardest part. And that's what people, I don't think, quite understand. It's like, they'll say, oh, I know what you're going through. I've lost my, nana. It's like, no, you don't understand that, because, you didn't wake up unless your family was super close or your nana raised you, as, your nana was your mum. I have to wake up every morning, in this house without my mum. I have to go the whole time without seeing my mum. I'll come home from school. Mum used to be sitting in the lounge room ready to hear about my day, and I'll walk in the door and it's an empty house. It's just the dog talking to me because she's excited that I'm home again. I'm the one that cooks the family meal. Mum's not doing that. I'm doing that. So it's excuse my language, but it's shit. And these special days, birthdays, anniversaries, they're the hardest, and I'm coming up to the hardest part. It's, you know, second anniversary today. In December, it's my mum's birthday. Then it's Christmas and then New Year's. And then I'm going to be starting year 12. I'm going to be walking through the school front gates without mum seeing it. You know, I don't think, you know, every year 12 parent's going to, you know, be standing there, but mum's not going to be able to see me off. You know, mum's not going to be able to see me wear my year 12 jumper. You know, the biggest one is to see me graduate, walk across that stage and to receive my certificate of completion. You know, she's not going to see that. You know, people keep saying, yeah, but she's with you, she's looking down on you, but she's not physically here. And that's something I think a lot of people need, and I know I need. That she needs to be physically here. I need to be able to physically touch her, smell her, talk to her, hear her voice. You know, I can't have that. The closest thing I do is I have her ashes and her wedding rings. So, you know, it's hard. I basically have no words. It's, you know, one day I'm fine, I'm happy, the next day or next minute I'm crying, you know, I'm feeling numb. You know, I just hope this video sort of brings a little bit more awareness to issue and to, you know, motherless daughters and anyone else who's out there that's lost a parent, and particularly at such a young age. So I hope, you know, people can, you know, start sort of understanding a little bit better. And yeah, that's sort of all I've got to say for today. So thank you for sitting here and listening with me and letting me talk. You know, I feel like I got a lot off my chest then. So thank you guys.